It's time to take a look at the 2024 NASCAR Xfinity and NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series schedules. Starting with Xfinity, nothing too fancy here. We start off at Daytona, then go straight to Atlanta just like we're doing for the Cup Series because unfortunately Auto Club is no longer going to be a track on the NASCAR circuit with their overhaul. Then we have Vegas, Phoenix, Circuit of the Americas, Richmond, Martinsville, Texas, and then Talladega. All of those first few races except for Talladega will be on FS1. Talladega will be on Fox. Following Talladega, the Xfinity Series goes to Dover, then Darlington, then Charlotte. So far, so good. A pretty solid schedule for the Xfinity Series. Nothing crazy changed. Here's what I wish was changed, but didn't get changed. Right after Charlotte, we have Portland, which is the Xfinity Series' only standalone event for this season. Because of rain, the Xfinity Series and Cup Series races at Charlotte in May were postponed until that Monday, and it was just a stressful time for those Xfinity Series teams because they had to go from Charlotte to Portland in a short amount of time. And I felt for those teams, I really did. It was a troubling time for them. Even if weather wasn't a factor, if the Xfinity Series ended up racing Saturday that they were supposed to that Charlotte weekend, it still is a tight turnaround to get from Charlotte to Portland in that time. So the solution for this was in 2024, NASCAR could schedule things a little bit differently so these teams weren't traveling that big of a distance back to back. Unfortunately, though, that is not the case. So the Xfinity teams will have to travel from Charlotte to Portland yet again. I do understand, though, if rain wasn't a factor, this wouldn't be as much of an issue, but it's still quite a jump. So that's the only part of the schedule that I'm not a fan of, but I do love Portland, though. It's such a great track. After Portland, the Xfinity Series will go to Sonoma. This is the last race that Fox will have of the Xfinity Series on their network for the 2024 season before they head into Iowa, where NBC takes over. Of course, the Iowa race for Xfinity will be on the USA Network, just like the Cup Series. So reviewing what we've had so far, nothing jumps out at me that's crazy, off-putting, wild. It's a basic, nice schedule. The times, too, for these races are not far off from what they are this year. They're either exactly the same or they're about 30 minutes off. So far, so good with the Xfinity schedule. Jumping right back into it, June 22nd, we have New Hampshire, and the following week there is Nashville. After that race, we go back to the Chicago Street Course. Hopefully this coming year, we have an actual race at Chicago for the Xfinity Series. We are not literally treading water trying to get that event in. So hopefully we have a competitive and fun event. Right after that July 4th weekend, we head right into Pocono and then the Indy Oval. The next 3 weeks are off weeks for the Xfinity Series due to the Olympics, but we jump right back into racing on August 17th at Michigan. Then we go to Daytona, Darlington, Atlanta, Watkins Glen, and then to close out the regular season, I am so excited about this, Bristol. Now, to start the Xfinity Series playoffs in 2024, this is where we actually start to see our major shakeups on their schedule. This year, to start the round of 12, we have Bristol, Texas, then the Roval. Next year, to start their round of 12, we have Kansas, Talladega, and then the Roval. Yes, Talladega is getting a second date on the schedule for the Xfinity Series in 2024. Main reason is they had to fill the gap with Road America being gone. I hate that Road America is no longer on any NASCAR schedule whatsoever in 2024. Hopefully we can fix that for 2025. I'm feeling doubtful, but two Talladega dates, if it had to be one track to fill in for Road America, I am glad it's this one. In closing out the Xfinity Series 2024 schedule, just like in 2023, just like this year, we have the following tracks in this order. We have Vegas, Homestead, Martinsville, and Phoenix. All right, on to the Truck Series. Again, we're starting off at Daytona, then going right to Atlanta. Then we have Vegas and Bristol. Again, I am not a fan of this Bristol race that's happening in the beginning of March. The weather's gonna suck. That's the one gripe I have with this schedule. Right after Bristol is the other gripe I have with the Truck Series schedule, which is Circuit of the Americas. That's not what I'm upset about. What I'm upset about is that's the only road course on the Truck Series schedule in 2024. Mid-Ohio is gone, and I am so freaking upset about this. I don't know if this decision was made easily or lightly, but most likely what this had to do with was the Olympics kind of shaking up the NASCAR schedule for those summer months. So if it had to be crossed off because of that reason, I understand that, but I'm a little biased too. My home state is Ohio. Mid-Ohio is a great track. It's an easy drive for me and my family to go to. So I'm a little bummed that it's gone from the schedule. Hopefully in 2025 it comes back, but I also know it's really easy to remove a track from the schedule and keep it gone. So fingers crossed for the future for Mid-Ohio, but it is not going to be on the schedule at at all for the Truck Series or the main NASCAR Series in 2024. On that same note, with major shakeups for the Truck Series, there's no dirt racing, period, for them. So I mentioned this in the Cup Series video that I did, so make sure to take a look at that about the 2024 schedule. But I feel like truck and dirt, it just goes together so well. So I'm really disappointed. Ben Kennedy, yet again, he did say that dirt is not gone from NASCAR completely. They're looking at options for the future. I'm wondering where those options are, though. I know Bristol Dirt's kind of out of the question, I'm pretty sure, from here on out. But let me know in the comments below where you think the Truck Series should go. I'd love for them to go back to Eldora, but I don't think that's going to happen. But getting back on track, the next tracks in the Truck Series schedule are Martinsville, Texas, and Kansas. Then we have Darlington and North Wilkesboro. Yes, the Truck Series gets another points-paying race at North Wilkesboro. I'm very excited for that. It was actually a fun race last year for them. Then everyone has the Charlotte in the Truck Series. Next stop is Worldwide Technology Raceway. They take about a 2-week break before heading to Nashville, and then during this time period, we would be going to Mid-Ohio. Instead, they take a week break, and then they're going to Pocono. Next up on the 2024 schedule, on July 19th, we have IRP. This season, IRP is the opener to the Truck Series playoffs. Next year, it's not going to be in the playoffs, so that's a shakeup right there. But at least similar to this season, the final race of the regular season for the Truck Series, yet again, in 2024, will be Richmond. Then the playoffs begin for the Truck Series, that round of 10. It begins at the Milwaukee Mile this time. I think that's a great place to start the playoffs. Right after that, though, they go to Bristol and then to Kansas. In my opinion, an even bigger mix-up starting that round of 8. We start the round at Talladega, which is one heck of a way to start another round of the playoffs. I mean, it's great for the drivers, kind of. I mean, if you get yourself in a hole, you get in a wreck early in the race, you at least have 2 more races to kind of bounce back from that. Unlike the Xfinity Series and the Cup Series, where Talladega is smack dab in the middle of their rounds of the playoffs. So I think the Truck Series is a little bit at an advantage schedule-wise when it comes to the Dega race. Closing out the round of 8 for the Truck Series is Homestead and Martinsville. This year, Homestead closes out the round of 8 before the Truck Series heads to Phoenix. Next year, thank God, it's going to be Martinsville and then Phoenix, like NASCAR Cup Series and NASCAR Xfinity Series. All of the Truck Series races, except for Worldwide Technology Raceway, will be on FS1. That race, Worldwide Technology Raceway, will be on Fox. But those are your 2024 NASCAR Xfinity Series and NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series schedules. I'm sure there's something I skipped over, so let me know in the comments below, and let me know your thoughts in the comments below as well. For more NASCAR news, make sure to visit TobyChristie.com and AboveTheYellowLine.com. And for more up-to-date news stories, make sure to follow our social media pages that can be found on our websites.